when you look at the life of Imam alayhi salam from the common general information that the Shia community may have, the moment you ask somebody who was Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, they remember a couple of things. The first thing they remember is that he was unwell in the events of Karbala. Yeah. So they all remember him as the one that was sick then. He wasn't well. And also many of us associate Imam alayhi salam with dua because of the dua, for example, Sheikh Hossein Javaheri, and the fact that after the event of Karbala, Imam alayhi salam had to act as a person, what we call muballigh of the Islam and the calamities of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam in this particular way. Imam alayhi salam has many speeches or the actual dua and all of that. If you want to go through it, it's just a world. But one of the things that Imam alayhi salam has said, and you see that in some of the references with Imam Zaman alayhi salam as well, is in the speech that he had in Sham, that Imam alayhi salam starts introducing himself. I'll just read some of the sentences of this and see what are the things that we understand, because there is more to talk about here. But inshallah, we'll talk about that later, maybe other weeks, because it would be more than, you need more than 1 week to focus on that. Imam alayhi salam starts after sending the hamd and thanking Allah and the usual starting. Imam alayhi salam says, Ayyuhan nas. Imam alayhi salam is talking to, imagine that these people are the people of Sham. They're not familiar with Imam alayhi salam, so they just know some prisoners have come here, and the ruler has basically caught them or killed their family, and these people left. So Imam alayhi salam says, Ayyuhan nas, أعطينا ستا وفضلنا بسبع. Allah, Imam alayhi salam says, Allah tabarak ta'ala, or we've been given, means from Allah, we've been given 6 things, and there are 7 things that Allah has made us based on those superior to others. Then Imam alayhi salam says, the things that we've been given, the 6 things that we've been given, أعطينا العلم والحلم والسماحة والفصاحة والشجاعة والمحبة في قلوب المؤمنين. These are 6 things. Yes. So the 6 things that we can obviously kind of understand what it says. So knowledge, patience, generosity, eloquence, bravery, and the love in the hearts of mu'min. 6 things, Imam alayhi salam says, we have these 6 things as talking about Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and he is introducing himself to people. Then 7 things that Imam alayhi salam says that make us superior to others. وَفَضِّلْنَا بأن من النبي المختار محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ومنا الصديق ومنا الطيار ومنا أسد الله وأسد رسوله ومنا السبطاء هذه الأمة من عرفني فقد عرفني ومن لم يعرفني أنبأته بحسبي ونسبي. So Imam says 7 things. The fact that the Prophet ﷺ is one of us, and the one that was called as Siddiq. Who was that person who was called as Siddiq? Amir
Amir
al-Mu'minin
al-Mu'minin
alayhi
alayhi
salam.
salam.
Ahl
Ahl
Sunnah
Sunnah
call
call
somebody
somebody
else
else
as
a Siddiq.
Who's
Who's
that?
that?
Abu
Abu
Bakr.
Bakr.
This is
This
one
is
of the
one of the
things
things
that
that
they
they
had to
had to
take
take
from
from
Imam
Imam
Ali
Ali
alayhi
alayhi
salam's
salam's
nicknames
nicknames
that
that
Rasul
Rasul
sallallahu
sallallahu
alaihi
alaihi
wasallam
wasallam
gave
gave
him.
him.
They
They
took
took
one
one
for
for
Abu
Abu
Bakr
Bakr
and
and
one for
one for
Umar.
Umar.
They
They
call
call
Umar
Umar
Faruq.
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 They call
They
him
call him
Faruq, and
Faruq, and
that's the
that's
what
what
the
the
Prophet
Prophet
sallallahu alaihi
sallallahu alaihi
wasallam
wasallam
called
called
Imam
Imam
Ali
Ali
alayhi
alayhi
salam.
salam.
أنت
أنت
الصديق
الصديق
الأكبر
الأكبر
وفاروق
وفاروق
الأعظم.
الأعظم.
He
He
talks
talks
about
about
the
the
Prophet
Prophet
sallallahu alaihi
sallallahu
wasallam.
alaihi
Talks
wasallam.
about
Talks about
Imam
Imam
Ali
Ali
alayhi
alayhi
salam
salam
being
being
the
the
great
great
honest
honest
person,
person
and the
and the
one
one
that
that
would
would
differentiate
differentiate
between
between
right
right
and
and
wrong.
wrong.
Farouk.
Farouk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
the
the
great son.
great son.
Anyway,
Anyway,
ومنا
ومنا
الطيار.
الطيار.
الطيار
الطيار
is
is
Ja'far
Ja'far
al-Tayyar.
الطيار.
Ja'far
Ja'far
al-Tayyar.
الطيار.
That
That
was
was called the nickname was given.
ومنا
ومنا
أسد
أسد
الله.
الله.
أسد
أسد
الله
الله
is
is
again
again
Imam
Imam
Ali
Ali
وأسد
وأسد
الرسول is
الرسول,
the
the
same
same
person.
person.
ومنا
ومنا
سبطة
سبطة
هذه
هذه
الأمة.
الأمة.
سبطة
سبطة
is
is
again
again
Hassan
Hassan
and
and
Hussein
Hussein
alayhi
alayhi
salam.
salam.
So
So they were from Asbab,
The Quran
Quran
says
says
Asbab,
Asbab,
which
which
are
are
the
the
special
special
dhurriya
Dhurriya or
or descendants
descendants
of
of
the
the
prophets.
prophets.
Each, so
So
some of
some
them,
of
not
the,
each
not
prophet,
each
but
prophet, but some of the prophets,
they
they
had
had
special
special
grandchildren
grandchildren or
descendants,
descendants,
and
and
Imam
Imam Hassan and Hussein alayhi salam are those at the top of.
whoever
Whoever
knows me
knows me
is
is
fine. If he
fine. If he
doesn't
doesn't
know
know
me,
me,
I
I
will
will
explain
explain
myself who
myself
I
who I
am,
am,
based
based
on
on
my
my family and my fathers.
أيها
أيها
الناس
الناس
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
مكة
مكة
ومنى
ومنى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
زمزم
زمزم
والصفا
والصفا
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
حمل
حمل
الركن
الركن
بأطراف
بأطراف
الردى
الردى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
خير
خير
من
من
ائتزر
ائتزر
وارتدى
وارتدى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
خير
خير
من
من
انتعل
انتعل
واحتفى
واحتفى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
خير
خير
من
من
طاف
طاف
وسعى
وسعى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
خير
خير
من
من
حج
حج
ولبى
ولبى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
حمل
حمل
على
على
البراق
البراق
في
في
الهوى
الهوى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
أسري
أسري
به
به
من
من
المسجد
المسجد
الحرام
الحرام
إلى
إلى
المسجد
المسجد
الأقصى
الأقصى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
بلغ
بلغ
به
به
جبرائيل
جبرائيل
إلى
إلى
سدرة
سدرة
المنتهى
المنتهى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
دنا
دنا
فتدلى
فتدلى
فكان
فكان
قاب
قاب
قوسين
قوسين
أو
أو
أدنى
أدنى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
من
من
صلى
صلى
بملائكة
بملائكة
السماء
السماء
أنا ابن
أنا ابن
من
من
أوحى
أوحى
إليه
إليه
الجليل
الجليل
ما
ما
أوحى
أوحى
أنا
أنا
ابن
ابن
محمد
محمد
المصطفى
المصطفى
أنا ابن
أنا ابن
علي
علي
المرتضى
المرتضى
أنا ابن
أنا ابن
من
من
ضرب
ضرب
خراطيم
خراطيم
الخلق
الخلق
حتى
حتى
قالوا
قالوا
لا
لا
إله
إله
إلا
إلا
الله
الله.
صلوا على
صلوا على
محمد.
محمد وآله.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
is
this
a
is a
lot
lot
to
to talk about,
there's
there's a lot and it continues,
it's
it's
not
not the end of it.
So inshallah
Inshallah,
tonight we
tonight we
want to talk about just one general concept here. The fact that Imam alayhi salam, like the first one he says, Ana ibn Makkah wa Mina. So if anybody hears this, he says, okay, it means Imam alayhi salam was born in Mecca. That's what people usually say. Mina, okay, well, Mina is part of Mecca as well. Why is Imam alayhi salam says, Ana ibn Zamzama was Safa? Again, maybe you can compare that, saying that because it's in Mecca. But there is another reason for that. So you say that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are the son of, for example, Mecca, the son of Mina, the son of Safa is what? What is Safa? Is a mountain. Yeah, Safa mountain. Why is Imam alayhi salam says, I am the son of Mecca or Zamzam and Safa. Yeah, why? Imam alayhi salam says, Anabnu. You're Antum Abna'u to Ibrahim. Ah, so you're saying that he's saying this, but was Ibrahim alayhi salam himself the father of Zamzam or the father? Okay. So, okay, well, maybe that's what he's trying to say. So, maybe Imam alayhi salam is trying to say that I am the son of the one who made, for example, or is related to these things. Okay. So, Imam alayhi salam is making himself the son of a place. He could have said, Anabnu Ibrahim. Come on, that's easier, isn't it? Ana min dhurriyyati Ibrahim. Is it hard? Why is Imam alayhi salam says, Anabnu Mecca wa Mina? The miracle. Yes, well, that's good. Yeah, there are miracles, there are signs of Allah. But why is Imam alayhi salam says, I am the son of that? No, I am the son, not sign. He's a sign. So you're translating son as sign. Well, my question is to first, before, look, I'm as a person is questioning. I know Zamzam is important. I know Mecca is important. I know Mina is important. So first, I give you my understanding as a person is questioning. I understand all of that. Yeah, is a Sunni, is a Muslim coming. He understands. He's Sunni, but he understands Mecca is important. Mina is important. Yeah. Why is your Imam saying, I am the son of them? He's not this. He's the son of his father. Yes. Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that? Yeah, ownership. Yeah, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Heritage. That's what he's saying. So he's like saying that is a heritage is something that belongs to them.
When he says Ibn, I'm thinking he's not going over to Ibrahim alayhi salam, he's going to the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Okay.
That's what I'm.
Alright, so Hajj is saying Ibrahim, but you're saying actually he's not going to Ibrahim, he's going to the Prophet. Okay. Why is he saying that I am the son of the...
Because Ibn is being used for, like Mubahala, Ibn, as in the sons, like what Hassan was saying. So it's just the term Ibn.
That's
the son of the Prophet.
He would have said, Anabnu Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's easy. Why is he talking about a land? I am the son of that place.
But he did at the end. He first mentioned all these signs of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Then he says, I am the son of.
Yeah, but each sentence has its own meaning. So of course, then later on he talks about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he mentions particular attribute of the Prophet, not just anything. Yes. Okay. Okay, so you are saying that he is mentioning this to actually make people understand who the Prophet was. What these people are Muslims, they understand who the Prophet was. Many of them have been to Hajj. They know what Mina is, what Mecca is. It's about the time that the Imam Sajjad alayhi salam is talking is in Sham is about 74 years after Islam came. Many of these people been Hajj, not just themselves, even their fathers. They've been to Hajj and they know Hajj very well. Yeah, they don't need They don't need to know that the Prophet was in Mecca. They don't need to know that Mina is in Islam is important. They don't need to know that Zamzam was a miracle of Ibrahim alayhi salam. They know it. And they know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the descendant of Ibrahim. What do you say? I am the son, so I have to protect it. That's very interesting. That's a good thing, yeah. So look, I mean, I'm getting your good opinions, and they're all good. I think all of them are good, but yeah, yeah, yeah. But he could have said, "I am the son of your prophet." Yeah, he could have said, "I am the son of the prophet," as we said. But he's not. He's saying, "I am." First, he's saying that I am the son of Mecca and Mina and Zamzam and Safa, all of that. Why would he say that? Okay, so what Hajj is saying, I just mentioned it, so you complete your sentence. So Hajj is saying the all miracles that happen, it was after that the name of Ahlul Bayt, the five holy, the Khamsa Tayyibah, was mentioned, and the miracles happened. Okay, based on riwayah. Okay, I think that's getting close to what I am trying to say. What I understand from this, and we can talk about other aspects, of course, lots of aspects in this. You, um, as even an ordinary person, you're not expected to come and say something and then say that you're not responsible for that. Okay, so like the poets, for example, they say something, and if you ask them, they say no, this is the language of poetry, and so you don't take it literally, you know. But other people, like if you're going to lecture all these people introducing yourself, you cannot say something that people do not understand or is controversial or is something that has different meaning, you know. It has to have a particular purpose for that. So we can't accept, if some people may say that, oh, it's a figure of speech, you know. I don't accept that. Imam Al-Ma'sum, Imam Infallible, that is speaking to people for the first time, introducing himself, he says something, people say, what's he talking about? Doesn't make sense. It's not going to be like that. He's going to say something to them, so they, first of all, it would they understand, and it would affect them deeply. Yes? And also, you expect Imam alayhi salam to say something that has a deep meaning. You know, you don't expect an imam saying something that it has a superficial meaning. Yes? Wa alaikum assalam. What is Mecca, for example? We say Mecca. What is Mecca? Mecca, if we say to, sorry? Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but if you talk to people, Mecca is important as Kaaba, that's right. Or Kaaba. Let's talk about Kaaba. What is Kaaba? It depends who is looking at it. Yes? So an ordinary person coming from another country, non-Muslim, doesn't know anything about Islam. They say, what is Kaaba? What does it say? It says Kaaba, probably Wikipedia probably said something like this. Kaaba is a cubic. That's what Kaaba means. Is a cubic made of stone, and it is in Mecca, and people, Muslim, go around it. This is Kaaba. What is the definition of somebody who's got a bit more ma'rifah? What would he say about Kaaba? How would you talk about Baytullah? So we call it Baytullah. Yes, we call it Baytullah. That's a very good point. So we call it Baytullah, yeah, which means the Bayt of. What does it mean, Baytullah? By the way, what does it mean? everything, I thought everything but belonged to Allah. Is just this Bayt particularly belongs to Allah? More attention? We get more attention from Allah? Signs of Allah? Yeah. So Baytullah, what does it mean generally? Literally. House of God, house of Allah, house of God. Well, God doesn't have a house, does he? Yeah. So in Arabic, they say, look, this connection between Bayt and Allah, we call it idafa, so added. Yeah. This is called idafa at-tashrifiyya, which shows the importance of the house. So when we say is Baytullah, means a bayt, a house that is specifically very, very important in Allah's standard. That's what it means. The same thing where, for example, when you say Tharullah. Tharullah literally means the blood of Allah, yeah? Or you can, in some meaning means the revenge of Allah. Allah doesn't have any of those things. It doesn't make sense for Allah. But it means that the blood that is so important that Allah would take revenge himself, as guaranteed would do that, or is very important, very holy. Okay. Now, so you go one level higher and you say that Mecca is a place of Bayt of Allah, a place that is Allah has given a lot of attention. What else, if your ma'rifah goes higher, what else would you say about Kaaba? Oh, that's what that first person would have said anyway. The non-Muslim would say that anyway. I'm saying if your ma'rifah goes higher, so like now, he said Baytullah because he says, oh, Muslim, actually I know this. And your ma'rifah goes even higher. What would you call that? The origin of Yunus, that's again based on information. That's right. That's Muslim information, and that's the same like Baytullah. That's right. As where creation started, like earth came out of water. Yeah, that the land came out of water from that land. That's true. That's very important too. Let's go higher. Ma'rifah goes higher. What do you consider for this place? What do you do when you go around Kaaba? Spiritual, yes. Yeah, so you're giving a special value to a land. You are giving what the word? You're giving what to a land? You're giving respect, yes. You're giving soul to a land. Yes? Quran has given soul to a land. Ruh. We think that soul, that ruh, that belongs just to us and animals, and then maybe some version of it to plants, yeah? But isn't that Quran says, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَثْقَالَهَا وَقَالَ الْإِنسَانُ مَا لَهَا يَوْمَئِذٍ تُحَدِّثُ بِأَخْبَارَهَا بِأَنَّ رَبَّكَ أَوْحَى لَهَا. This earth that we think doesn't have a ruh, doesn't have any soul, Allah has revealed something to it. How could you reveal something to something that doesn't have any ruh? How would you reveal? And then tuhaddithu akhbara, talks. He narrates. He's saying things. Alive, yes, is alive, of course. We got that in many riwayat. We got it in Quran, and we got it in many riwayat, that the earth is alive. We got that the piece of a stone from the fear of Allah would get like burst into pieces and falls down. The piece of stone. It's in Quran. So. Yeah. So we have to open a bracket and answer this. The question is this: You know when there is the shamsu kuwrat wa idha nujum kadarat. So everything goes that the earth will get demolished and the big bang or whatever they call it happens. The Armageddon, for example, they call it. The earth is going to explode. Yes. What happens to Kaaba? Yes. It is obviously bracket. Yeah, it's not directly related, but it's somehow related too. Then what happens? The earth will turn to another earth. How? Allah will get, like let's say, we want to call it planet or whatever you want to call it, another new place of living. Allah will make a new place of living. Yes? يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضِ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ. So the earth will become something that is not earth anymore. But there are places from earth that are used in making the new place. There are places that are made in making the new place. One of them is where? Bain al-Manbar in Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That is part of heaven. So these certain places, between the Manbar and the grave of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that part is part of heaven, for example. So there are places that they would use from this earth in making the new planet, or whatever you want to call it, which is a new planet. It has different quality. Part of it is hell, part of it is heaven. It's a place that does not need the sun to warm it up, does not get cold, does not get too cold. So there's a new quality of living there. Yes? In heaven. So those parts that are used, like from land of Kaaba, the holy places like Kaaba, Karbala, for example, these are used to make heaven. So the new heaven has these parts of this place, this earth, in it. Or could be probably from hell as well. I don't know what the exact piece of land that would be part of hell. Is it Hollywood or Los Angeles or something? I don't know. It's just a joke. Sorry? Las Vegas. Yes, that's true. That might be one of them. That's true. One of these places. Yeah, Sin City they call it. That's right. Anyway, so with Kaaba, with earth, with land, we are giving it a soul. And it does have a soul. It does have a soul. On the day of judgment, the soul of these things start talking. They're starting actually giving evidence, being witness. They are shahid. They become the ones that give shahada. And also every land, because if you may talk about a land and saying that, okay, it's just a land, it's a piece of stone and all that. Every land has, because of the soul, value is the soul. Like us, we say, we are valuable. Like the body of Imam Ma'asum alayhi salam, or the grave of Imam Ma'asum alayhi salam becomes holy. You go and touch the grave that the body of Imam alayhi salam was buried or is buried, based on whatever the opinion. Some say it was buried, it's not there anymore. Some say it was. Let's say it's buried. But the body is not even there where you're touching the stone, you're touching the land. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Isn't it, if the land does not have a soul, what are you touching then? When I go and touch the piece of stone, yeah, and that piece of stone, that tabarruk that we say, that we seek tabarruk from that barakah, that is coming from piece of stone to my hand. What does that mean? Wasn't it dead? Isn't stone dead? That's why, if we consider it dead, it has to be alive. That something is given through that to me, being that place. The earth is alive, and the land of Mecca, and especially with the Kaaba itself. So maybe Mecca actually means Kaaba. Maybe that's what it means. But the Holy Land itself has a soul, has something that we called it the other night, we talked about, the haqiqah, there is a truth behind it. The truth of something, that soul that it has, that can have value. Yeah. What is the truth of Kaaba? Because remember we talked about nafs again recently. Yes. What did we get there? We said that the soul of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Imam Ali alayhi salam are two different souls. Yes. But the nafs is the same. The nafs is the same. Yes. They're the same. What is the nafs of Kaaba? The nafs of Kaaba is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The nafs of that place, the holiness of that place is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is exactly the same as Imam Ali alayhi salam nafs. They're all the same. All Ahlul Bayt have the same. They're all the same nafs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or maybe you're getting confused. The nafs of Kaaba is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes. Yes. Maybe. Yeah, maybe there's a connection. That's right. Maybe that's why you touch the grave. That's right. But we all believe that when we go to ziyarah, why do we touch things? If he doesn't have a soul, it means that we're, na'uzubillah, doing an abath, we're doing something useless. We're doing something useless. Why do you touch things? And that's what somebody may tell you. Tomorrow somebody may come and tell you, wait a minute, you guys go, I've seen you go to something called ziyarah. And you touch things. And you're touching your face with it. You touch things and put, why? That's a piece of stone. In fact, somebody can come and say, look, this is a piece of stone that not long time ago, it was actually in one of the mines, the stone mines. And it was in the shop of, Hajj Ali had a shop, and it was in his shop. He cut it. He cut it. What? Why are you touching it now? He said, but there's a difference now. This is now in the haram of Imam Ali alayhi salam. This is different. It's the same thing, but it has a new soul in there. Sure. Yes. 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 We don't know why, yeah. That's right. They're not even Muslim. That's right. Yes. Yes. Something like that, yeah. Yes. Something made them stop and go back. Yes, they felt respect. Yeah, there's a soul there. That's right. Yeah. 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 Yes. You feel alive. You feel alive. That's right. You get life from it. That's right. The energy or something. Yes. That's right. It has to be something there. That energy affects you. Yes. Hajj, you were saying something? Hajj Abbas, you were saying something? Mu'min is, yeah, of the sanctity of Kaaba is, when we say that the sanctity of Mu'min is better and more important than Kaaba, it means that you, as a true Mu'min, when we say Mu'min, we're talking about true Mu'min, which is Ahlul Bayt alayhi wassalam. You have the essence of the actual soul and the nafs of that yourself. Kaaba is dependent on you. As the Imam alayhi salam, Imam Masum alayhi salam, when you come, for example, let's say if somebody was going to decide and say, look, I'm giving you option to kill this mu'min or kill this imam or destroy Kaaba. Of course, you say, well, let's destroy Kaaba because we build it again. No problem. Because that Kaaba that we're saying that is not as important, that's the stone. That's the one that God blessing from Imam. The blessing of Kaaba is because of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah. So Ibrahim alayhi salam made the house for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was for Islam. That's for the eternity that was built. As long as the essence is there, that means something. If the essence is not there, that means nothing. It's a piece of stone. Who cares? Imam alayhi salam, when he says that I am the son of Kaaba, as if he's saying that I am the son of the Prophet. It's the same. I am son of Mina because Mina has a soul, has a value because of the Prophet. Otherwise, there's nothing. Or even if we return it to Ibrahim alayhi salam, doesn't matter. They're all possible. But at the end, the soul of that place. So we have to consider a soul for the place. And this is important because you go different places and you touch things, they may come and ask you. Because this place is alive. And if they ask you, so you haven't read Quran. If they haven't read Quran, that's the first thing you have to say. Look, you haven't read Quran. In Quran says that the earth has soul, the earth talks, the earth understands. The earth, he says, in Quran, it has khashya. Yes? In earth, Quran says, لَمَا يَشَّقَّقُ مِنْهُ الْمَاءِ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ. That it bursts and water comes out because of the fear of Allah. In Surah Al-Baqarah. That's يَشَّقَّقُ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ اللَّهِ, if I'm not wrong. That's the ayah, middle of the ayah. So, the earth and the place, all the things that we are seeing, they have a soul behind them. And that soul is based on what Allah Ta'ala wanted for that. Like the same thing we mentioned last week, we talked about the cane of Musa alayhi salam, or was it in Jummah prayers? I can't remember. We talked about the cane of Musa alayhi salam. What did I talk about this? I can't remember now. Was it here? Yes, it has something behind it. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. The same thing. So when Musa alayhi salam was asked, it was the for marhum Abu Assam. That's what we're talking about. That's what we mentioned. So the Majlis of Azza. The cane of Musa alayhi salam, when he looked at it, he saw it as just a cane. So Allah Ta'ala says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بَيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa. What is that in your right hand you're holding? He says, قَالَ هِيَ عَصَاي. This is my cane, my cane. I walk with it. I use it. أتوكل عليها وأهش بها على غنمي. I bring the branches down for my sheep. That's what he says. And then Allah Ta'ala says, ألقها. Just drop it. Then he does, and it becomes hayyatan tas'a. It becomes a big serpent snake that is going very fast. So he gets scared. Yes? And then after he holds it again, it becomes cane. So one of the ulama says like this. He says, Musa, when he saw the first time, when Allah Ta'ala asked him, and he saw that the cane became the snake, this was a teaching for him. Later on, if Allah asks him, for example, imagining, we're not saying this happened, but if asked him, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa, what is that in your right hand? He would have said, whatever you want, whatever you think, whatever you intend. Yeah? He would have said, هِيَا كَمَا تُرِيد, كَمَا تَشَاء. Whatever you say, Allah. No, I know what I'm saying. Exactly. That's right. That's right. So he is basically, the conversation is for him to say, look, You know this is a cane, but actually if Allah wants, it's not a cane. You know this is piece of stone from the shop of Hajali, the the stone yard or whatever they call it. You know that that's from there. If Allah wants, that's not that anymore. That's piece of heaven. That becomes a miracle. That piece of stone from Karbala or the soil from Karbala becomes miracle if Allah wants. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, that's right. So all the things that Allah created, even in heaven, they're not as if like there was, for example, a place created and then now they go. No, this creation is alive. I mean, as an example to understand the difference between what we see here and what we see in heaven is like you have a book is written on a piece of paper. That's it. That's it. Or no, you've written it online and you can make it more or less or color it or change it, make it bigger, smaller. What's what you want to do with it? It's alive. Yes? Heaven is like that, is alive, is a creation that has a soul. Heaven talks in Qiyamah, doesn't it? Yeah? Heaven walks, talks. Yeah? Heaven comes close. Hell talks as well, yes, the same thing. Hell, heaven, they talk, they have understanding. They have understanding. They know things that Allah Ta'ala is talking to. هل امتلأت have you هل من مزيد, for example, he says هل من مزيد. He's talking. Hell is talking. The same thing with hell. Heaven is talking as well. Yes, there was no Khalifa on it. That's right. Yes. Yeah, that's why the Khalifa went. That's right. The earth complained. The fact that Khalifa of Allah went on earth, the earth, but they got their own language. Nowadays we know that having their own language, what it means. You can talk nowadays to an AI. Have you? So. Yes. Yes. That's true. It's a riwayah. It comes to you. Yeah, it's alive. It's alive. You intend, you desire, it comes to you. You desire. Not even said anything. You say, oh, that's nice. I want to have an apple. The apple comes to you. That's right. Yeah. Because these things are possible. Nowadays, you know that this is possible. With even in this earth is possible. Yeah. All right. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Any questions? Bismillah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's right. There's no meaning of time. That's right. But the question is this: for people who don't hear the question, is this, ladies? The question is that in heaven, if I go heaven, for example, the level, even heaven has levels, and the level that the Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam or the Anbiya are there, these are high levels. We might be the bottom level. So how can we see them or not? Yes, we can. We can visit them. We can visit them. However, going to like in heaven, you can choose what you like. And in heaven, in spite of what people think, there is a progress too. It's not like if I'm at bottom level, that's it, I'm going to stay there. I can progress too, even in heaven. Yes, I can progress. I'll tell you. Yes. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Was. Of course that what we're talking to them. Who is that person? This person asking, is it a Sunni? Is he Muslim? Sunni? No, no. This person. Who is this person? Is he Muslim? Non-Muslim? Atheist? What? As if he's Sunni, or we can say the same thing that you say in Salah. They say salam at the end. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabiy wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're saying salam, they're sending salam as well. Yes. Of course. وَلَا تَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَمْوَاتًا بَلْ أَحْيَاءٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ يُرْزَقُونَ فَرِحِينَ بِمَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَسْتَبْشِرُونَ. All those verses. We talked about the barzakh and all those things a lot. They are alive. You don't understand. That's what you have to tell them. وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. You don't understand. There's a different matter. So you answer the question that some people in Muslims, in our scholars even, they think that you go to heaven and that's it, you stop. You are level this, you give address, my house is in heaven, number 1, this and that, the roundabout, go get there, that's it. And that's it, you're there forever, eternity, that's it. And you don't understand anything after that, you don't progress at all. What's the point? What kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? Even in barzakh, people progress. In barzakh, look at the hadith of Mi'raj. Look at the other hadith that talks about what is happening in barzakh. In barzakh, many people will change so much. By the time it gets to Qiyamah, they are different people. Their sins are forgiven. They learn. People who went to barzakh as children of mu'mineen. We got it. There's a teacher there. Ibrahim alayhi salam is one of the teachers. Fatimah al-Zahra salamullah alayha is one of the teachers. They teach the children of mu'mineen. By the time comes to the day of judgment, your son will come. Inshallah, your son lives a long life. But for example, one of the members of your family, for example, or relatives, or son of somebody died, even younger, and you didn't see them. They come as a person and they memorize the whole Quran. And they do shafa'ah for mu'mineen. They do shafa'ah for their parents. How do they do shafa'ah for their parents if this is the rawaya? How do they do shafa'ah for their parents if they didn't even know anything? And then the poor kid died, he didn't know anything. He didn't pray. He didn't know anything about ma'arif, or who is who. He didn't know nothing. He's just a little kid, poor thing died at a young age. He comes to the day of judgment, he's becoming a different person. And many people in barzakh, they get forgiven. The adab they go through, by the time it comes to the day of judgment, they're all forgiven. Barzakh is a blessing. Many things that we think that they are bad, like hell is a blessing for Allah. You know that, it's from Allah. Hell, Jahannam, is a blessing from Allah. In fact, you know how everybody going to heaven first goes to hell, yeah? Crosses hell. Actually, they do ziyarah of hell, of Jahannam. They do ziyarah. They thank hell. They say, thank you. You are the reason many of us didn't get burned here. Because we got scared of it. It's a blessing. Yeah? It's like, for example, the government comes and puts a sign, COVID, wash your hands. Yes? The sign, hell, don't commit sin. Ayah Quran. Be careful. You get burned. Who's saying it? Hell is a creation of Allah. Is a big blessing. Because people get scared of hell and they don't go to hell. Most of people don't go to hell because of being, most of people are khawfan min an-nar rather than, sorry? Yeah, رغبة إلى الجنة. Most of people are خوفا من النار. Of course, some people, their level is high and they are, you know, they do ibadah of Allah because they found Allah worthy of it. That's a different thing. So, what was I going to say about the point? So, yeah, so inshallah, you start from the high level, but if you start from the bottom level, make sure to do shafa'a for us as well. But we come from the other side this way. And then inshallah, we all progress. And of course, and one of the blessings, you know, we think the blessing is eating food. But if you don't need eating food, it's just the pleasure of eating food. Just the pleasure of it, yeah? Because you get hungry. It's just a pleasure, yeah? And then you've got a pleasure, say, this one eating food, the other one's going and seeing Imam Hossein alayhi salam. Most of people don't even bother with that. People might sit there for thousands of years just looking at the face of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just that is so pleasurable for them. They sit there and just look at him. Look at the light of Imam Zaman alayhi salam. Tawus Ahl Jannah. They just look at Imam Zaman alayhi salam, and that's the biggest blessing itself. That's a pleasure. Yes. That's what I just said. Yeah. You get ma'rifah directly. Is Allah limited? Okay, so you go to level, let's say from ma'rifah of Allah, we go to heaven with level 10. Yes. Yes, the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam are the link still the link. Yes. What we still get. Look, without any similarity, I just give some example for you to understand. Old time, you want to connect something to your computer, you had to have a wire. And that computer had to be connected at the start to electricity. Yes? Nowadays, your computer, even not directly to the electricity, has some power in it. And your device is not even connected directly to that and still gets information from it. Yes? The less connected we are to the world, the more we are connected to this world, the more we are connected to the other side. So in Qiyamah, when you come to heaven, the connection is direct. Looking at Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam gives you ma'rifah. Talking to them gives you ma'rifah. You don't have to sit and read a book necessarily. That's why your level keeps going up. So your level 10, let's say you are there for 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, for example, as an imagine, there's no years like that. But let's say, for example, 1,000 years, your level is 1,010. Yes. Oh, what's the question? What's the question? Of course. I still haven't got your question yet. What should it be what? Because Allah. Yeah, I know, but what do you mean being above? So you cannot, can you reach Allah? Allah is always higher than us. I understand what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, what's the question? Oh, so that's the new question. So you totally changed the question now. That was a different question. So you change your question is this. We answered this many times before, but your question is this: is it fair that Allah has created Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam already above us, so some people with a special like quality something? Okay, there are many things to talk about here, but I think people are getting tired. I just give you a couple of points. You got in this world, again, these are all examples. You got in this world, let's say, the world champion in the sprinter, that Usain Bolt. Yes? Is he still champion? I don't know. Anyway, let's say he is, for example. My information is a bit old. Let's say this guy is a champion. Yes? He's got better physique than me and you. Yeah? His legs are as long as our body. So does that mean that it's unfair that he becomes champion? He used it. He had certain talents, but do you know based on the statistic, there were thousands of people that they had the same physique and they didn't become champion. Yes? Now, Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam reaching a status is not because they just created like that, that's it. And they do nothing, sit and look around and we're just too good. That's not the reason. But Allah has protected them in certain aspects. One. Second, Allah, with their knowledge, infinite knowledge, He knew they would choose to use their best ability to be who they are. They chose to be. That's right. Yes. Yes. Yeah, alam adhar. They're all. Yeah, we talked about this before. I mean, in the alam adhar, they've been tested and all that. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, they've been all tested. So we talked about what it means being tested. Yeah, it's a different matter. Yeah, yes. Based on? No. No, some people stay where they are. You don't have to progress. No. There is no obligation in paradise. No. Yes. You can progress. Yes, and you can learn more. There's no obligation. There is no duty. There's no taklif. That's right. But you can progress. You don't have to stay. But even the pleasures of paradise are different than the pleasures of this world. Pleasures of this world, they all have something after that makes it less pleasurable. You eat, you enjoy yourself for a short while, you eat a little bit more, you get indigestion, you get bloating, you have to go to the bathroom, lots of problems with it. Yeah. Everything we do in this world has some problems, but the pleasure, if it's pure, then you don't get bored with it. Think about it, like, for example, if you're sitting sometimes and you have absolutely nothing to stop you. Look at a beautiful view. Go to the mountains, beautiful views, sit there, okay? Imagine you're sitting there, because we sit there, we enjoy it, yes? After a short while, we think, oh, we got to go. I've got things to do tomorrow. Or you're sitting in the chair, you say, oh, my back is hurting, I have to move. Yeah? You have to move, you have to stand up, you have to eat, you get hungry, you want to go to the bathroom, something is wrong. Imagine you're sitting and looking at that scenery, nothing stops you, it's just a pleasure. You just get the pleasure, and nothing would tell you, oh, get up, you're tired, you've got worries, you've got your family waiting for you, you have to work, nothing. You just enjoy that. You'll be in that position for 50,000 years. You do not even realize that was as if it was one moment. You just sit there and enjoy without any. Yes, that is state of bliss. That's right. The real one, not the real one. That you are in that state. Doesn't matter if you're there for thousands and thousands of years. Is no difference. You don't feel that the time is. We do have time, but not the time that we feel it. Because obviously their progress means time. but not the time that it will stop us. So we don't, you sit there and you enjoy it. The same thing we got like other things that the young people probably like, Hur al-Ain and all that. Yes, it does. There's a riwayah about it that, you be with your spouse for many, many, many years as if it was nothing. No, that's right. Yeah, time is there, but not against you. Time, it means progress. So because you don't have any worries, anything, is not a negative thing. Sure. Concept of riba, yeah, interest, yeah. No, 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 no. Be careful. Be careful. No, no, no. Nobody has said is halal. No, no, no. I tell you something else. No. In Quran, we got the rule of, for example, eating meat. Yes, the famous ayah 5 of 5, Surah Al-Ma'idah. Yeah, حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أحل لغير الله. All of that. Yeah. And then it gets to the end. It says, فَمَنِ اضْطُرَّ غَيْرَ بَاغٍ. Whoever gets to a situation that he is in what we call emergency. Yes? He can eat, for example, what's the what's the pig's meat, whatever the name, pork. He can eat pork, yes? Swine or whatever. So he eats that food. Does that mean now the rule of pork has changed? No. It still is haram. But Allah will forgive you. Allah says, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. So Allah will forgive you for that. Because out of necessity, you had to do that much. Yes? Now, interest, when you say that, the ones that they, like some Maraja, they allowed you to go and buy one house for yourself, even if you have to pay interest, is al-dharar. Interest is haram. They just said, look, because you're in that situation and we understand this is the emergency, difficult situation for you, we allow you to do this as if you're eating pork. Until that's gone. Finished, you pay the mortgage. Now for the second one, investment for other things, no. It still is haram. It is haram. Well, yeah, but it would be difficulty. Yes, you got option, of course. You got option of even these, if you call them options, all options go overseas, go and live in a poor place, go and live with the difficulty. Allah doesn't want that for us. We say, look, we want to have a normal life, and it's just difficult. This is very difficult. I will have to always pay rent and never be able to buy, and I stay poor basically because I'm putting my money in somebody else's account. So Sharia says, look, in this situation, until when Imam alayhi salam comes and you got the Islamic government, then that's a different matter. Then yes, then there is no excuse. Nobody's gonna take riba, nobody's gonna give riba, because there's no reason for it, of course. All that's okay. There are lots of things in halal and haram. It's like, for example, some people say, oh, this is just, you just fooling yourself with the Islamic rules. No. I mean, you think about it, somebody comes, is for people who believe that non-Muslim is najis. Somebody comes, is najis. He says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He becomes tahir. Just like that. Just like that. Are you tricking yourself? No, we're not tricking ourselves. If somebody says, oh, you cannot talk to this lady, it's haram. Okay, well, I say 2 sentences, you become mahram, finished. You say yes, and she says yes, and that's it. I read 1 line, and that's it. Now, not only you can talk to her, you can touch her, you can do anything you want. You become halal more than even you and your sister and your mother, you can see anything from. That's what the rule is. Now, the same thing with riba. Yes, if you consider certain things, might look similar, but it's not the same. And there's a long discussion of why that's not the same, what are the consequences, all of that. Looks like tonight we had lots of interesting topics. Khair, inshallah. You still have questions? Yes. Okay. No, ask. No, go. I don't know. Yeah, ask your marja. I don't know who has allowed and why. I mean, the ones that we know, they haven't. Nobody has allowed it unless they say something else. For example, some marja or one particular marja says it like this. He says, look, you have borrowed some money from the bank and you have no intention to pay riba. You don't want to pay it. And you pay them the money that they owe you, or you owe them, basically. You keep paying the money, and they're still taking money after that's finished. And you say, why are you taking extra? I say this because this is our rule. We take interest. So you say, I'm not happy. They say, it's okay, it's halal now. Because you're not happy paying that, you're forcing you. Yes, there is a marja says that. Yes. So you're paying that. But the question is that they start. Was that necessary to go through this? As we said, most likely not. And did you know that was going to happen? Yes, you knew. So that's the discussion for marja, for themselves to decide. What your marja says is haram, is haram. Riba still is haram. Nobody, no Muslim, Shia, Sunni, no Muslim has anything to claim that riba is not haram anymore. No, nothing, doesn't exist. Sure. That's right. No, all people in paradise are young. Sayyid al-Shabab al-Jannah means the masters of everybody. Of course, they are above them. So when you say Sayyid al-Shabab al-Jannah, you are not saying as a general rule. So for example, if somebody is again as an example, if somebody is the Muslim ruler of all Muslims, yeah, imagine that we have a lady who rules the whole country, is a Muslim lady, but she still has to obey the husband religiously. Even though she rules everybody, she says that what everybody has to say yes, but religiously she has to say yes to her husband in the rules that the husband is allowed to say something. Sallu ala Muhammad.